All right. Well, here we are again. Last week I had a whole bunch of internet issues. Um, it's probably going to take some getting used to here. I think I had it solved. We're still probably going to get a few dips as my computer gets up to snuff or whatever. But I had installed like Smart Defrag or something, and one of the options that was checked was to check like a one of my hybrid drives when my computer boots, and it was checking the data drive, and it prevented some network stuff from running. Kind of a bummer, but I think we got it. I'm still getting a whole lot of latency. Um, so we'll just do our best. We'll see what goes on. And crack open Unity. I think I have one or two new assets to download and unpackage as well. So let's see how that goes. Hey, settings. I'm gonna see if I have some sort of battery saver crap going on. I want full power. High performance. Wondrous. Okay, whatever. I only got about 5 black goats, so try not to mess up the stream too much. You got it, bud. Yes. Hospital Daikon poster. We wanted to do sort of a goofy Madoka suffering ripoff for the hospital, like to promote healthy diets. So we have a magical girl with a giant daikon radish saying veggies are magic. Should be cute and goofy. Madoka is suffering. Ha! Majuka. I think I still have that whole thing bookmarked. It's gonna become a timeless one. By timeless, I mean maybe 2 years, which means it's already old. Thus is internet. Oh, and while I'm in the sewer here, last time when we were working on it, I learned there was like a certain angle that we didn't have a wall for, and it was this exterior 90-degree angle one. So we got another wall made to cover that. So now we have a full circle, or you know, all angles are considered. Yeah. still don't know what to do for this part here. Let's look underneath. Way underneath. Yeah, just need like a half wall, which is actually no problem. That's a half wall there. That'll be fine probably. But sewer is not our focus today. Or it might be later, but it isn't right now. Let's go to the hospital. I also wanted to chat a little bit about battle system and how it's coming along, because I've really been holding off on any other videos or trailers or gameplay footage because I want it to a point where I can, show off all the aspects of the game. And I feel like every time I bring it up, I say we're getting closer and closer, but we're getting closer and closer. We've been working on the exponential exploitation system, which is kind of the mechanic of our battle system that sets it apart from other games. Everyone can just do a turn-based battle system, but this is like the wrinkle inside that system. And we've been going through a whole bunch of different scenarios. The programmer and I have been tossing them back and forth. Like what if you want to use your banked multiplier on a healing item, or what if you want to use it when you defend? So we've just been incorporating it into every possible decision the player can make. So, for instance, if you have a multiplier of 2, like you've banked a 2x multiplier so that whatever command you choose, the effect will be doubled. So if you use an item that heals 30% of your HP, but you use that multiplier, it's going to heal 60%. Or if upon defending, we normally reduce your damage by 35% or something, it'll bump it up to 70%. So you can see that there's a way to get yourself fully healed and to take 0 damage, but there's a cap, so you don't want to build it up too much because then you're sort of wasting it. But it adds a little more strategic elements to the system, because you'll have to figure out if you want to really keep a person alive, or if you want to make sure that your limited inventory, since it is sort of survival horror in that there are no shops, there's no currency, so the items you find while scouring dungeons, that's what you get. So if you only have an item that heals 10% of your SP, which is your skill point or magic points, you might want to bank a high multiplier and then use that crappy item to suddenly give you a whole lot of SP, like 50%. So it's just making use of the system to complement the limited item management that you're going to have. And so it's not just always about dishing out damage, which is the initial problem we came across. We're like, well, how do we balance how much damage we're putting out? And we'll work on that as we get the system a little closer. And it's the same with status effects. For instance, I don't want to pull up the table to remind myself, but if you have a skill that has a 30% chance to blind your opponent, if you have a 3x multiplier, it's going to become a 90% chance to blind your opponent, which is great. And I think we're going to have to talk about if you defend and an enemy tries to attack you with a status effect, will the defense play into the percentage chance for them to afflict you. So if they have a 30% chance and you defend, and it would normally take it to 20%, would a 3 times multiplier make it 0? Excuse me. I'm just allergic to battle system discussions. And Bad Scribbler says, it's kind of like the Etrian Odyssey boost system. Yeah, and this, yeah, ours is a little more transparent and not just raising the power of the skill you use. And it's also shared between the party, so that if you want to use a link skill where 2 characters combine to make a super duper attack, we'll work on implementing that as well, so that the combo skills get a big boost, which, you know, heck, you might be able to one-shot a boss if you bank a high multiplier. We're not going to let the multiplier carry over between battles because of that. You'd be able to, like, walk through a dungeon, bank a really high multiplier, run into the boss, have like 99x, and, you know, insta-kill anything. That sort of kills it. So it resets after each battle. Alright, veggies are magic! Yes! Just got a little Luna. Awesome. I'm all for cheesy magical girls telling you to eat your veggies. But will it fit up here? Yeah! Veggies are magic. Alright. Like a little lens flare on the daikon. Another thing I've been doing, we got these window assets so that you can, you know, look through. And they're cool, sort of double pane. You see how the, whatever you would call them, little wires, diamond wires. I actually had to futz it by stretching the interior pane. But it works, looks fine, and just adds a little more fun creativity to the hospital. Because we can also put it on, I think I put it in our room. Yeah, you can put it on any of the wall textures. So like inside of a patient room or whatever room this would be. And then on the other side, you have a different room. So it's flexible and cool. Alrighty. And what shall we do here today? I obviously didn't plan this out. Let's see. Oh, we'll just I'll show you around the mall as well, since we have some newer mall stuff. I did a little post about the new ceiling that we had to implement because we're not using a linear opaque fog. We were before, so I didn't have to have any sort of high ceiling. But things have changed. We've gotten better. The game itself has improved visually, so we had to do something to hide it. So we got a ceiling. Yay! Now I also lowered these upper ceilings from 3 tiles high to 2, because when it was 3 tiles high, it still blocked out the skybox, but you couldn't see anything regarding the ceiling, except for, you know, there's a ceiling, but you couldn't really see it. This way you can still see it, make it out. And the other aspect of it is that we have these little hallway versions of it. This is a sample she put together of all the different hallway tiles. No, 16.5, but 9.5. Yeah. So there's a couple different designs we can use. Whoa, now I see the floor. Got a little bit of glass with little lights, none with lights, just blank, and a full skylight. All glass, I guess it says. And well, we can't see that fourth one. Whoops. Ah, just another blanky blank. Cool. So that's what I'm gonna be putting in the outer areas, and the inner areas, as you see, the former ceiling that was in here has vanished, just because it wasn't created by these people here. So I had to take it out. I want to use stuff that we've made specifically. So I'll probably use, let's see, no, no. Since this dungeon comes immediately after the police station, I don't want to use the police station ceiling. And I don't want to use the hospital ceiling because it's too unique. It doesn't have any. So what I'll probably end up using is the ceiling from the high school. I'll just do a little different color on it. Because we have a whole lot of different options here. Because it comes with these little vents, little fire extinguisher thingies. And what we can do is just take the school ceiling acoustic material and just sort of shift this around. Give it a different feel. If we do that, then all of a sudden it's kind of a different color. We can mix it and match it to be closer to the actual walls of the shops. But honestly, what happened was when I was moving a whole bunch of assets around, I lost the floors and ceilings. Which I'm not actually bothered by. So here's like a remnant of the ceiling. I can always just use this again. It's just, you know, it's whatever, it's plain. But with the offset, I had to do an offset because it was actually like there. Where's 0.5? Like around there. So you could see this little bit sticking out. So I had to create a separate end piece version. But you know, I could just duplicate it. Here's all the missing prefabs. Just duplicate it and replace, and we can just use that ceiling. Whatever ends up happening, ends up happening. I think malls, their ceilings are usually pretty crap, so it shouldn't matter too much. We do have a battle container and battle system in this dungeon. I don't think it's updated. But it'd be kind of interesting to see if we can get it to go. Counter 8.2. Whatever. Let's give it a try. I think it's an old version. I think it's the one we used way back in Kickstarter days. And Unity will take its time, since we haven't loaded it in yet. Oh, I got an email from PlayStation Store. Let's see what they say today. Rise of the Tomb Raider is 50% off for a limited time. In other words, they're going to do a price drop after this limited time, but it's not going to be as big of a drop as this sale. I love reading between the lines. Let's see how much 50% off is, see if it's 30 or if they've done any drops before. Yep, 30. Well, I don't think so. Not that I don't think it's a good game. I'm sure it's great. I enjoyed the other one. I just don't feel like buying it. So let's see here. Get my lighting fog proper. This is still at 0.45. This is the one where I said you can't really tell. So we shifted it to this so you can see that there's a ceiling. The only bummer is now we've got this bottom down here. So what I'm going to do is just create a big plane like this white thing up here. Just color it pure black and drop it down there. So it'll just be a hard black bottom. Yeah, whatever. Let's see if battles actually start. I don't think they will. I think there's something else that's missing. There's like a battle data file or something. So I don't think a battle will actually start. It'd be kind of cool if it did. I would have run into a couple by now. Yeah. But while I'm wandering around in here in this incomplete dungeon, let's see some other stuff that's going to get changed. All of these clothes, all these clothes are going to get redone because 1, they're a little too flat. 2, they're not very fashionable or cute. 3, their scale doesn't mesh with everything else. And 4, certain pieces of clothes I found out are from a different game. So, not going to use those. I'm not going to go down that path. And this table here, that's going to go just because it's created a different style, doesn't mesh, it's gone. These walls are getting, the walls themselves actually have gotten refreshed textures, and I think we're going to try to do something so that we don't have to have these pillars between every single tile. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that one, but we do have a couple different varieties now. Let's see if I can grab those here. Got some extra. So this is a base of a brick wall that would be in a store. Got different brick patterns. patterns. Maybe it's better if I drop it here. You know, this would be like that, and like that, or whatever. This wouldn't be between them. Why does it have an animator? See, that's why a lot of this stuff is getting replaced. It's like, why? What the hell? Why does it have an animator? How about you get rid of that? You know, so they tile together fine, which is a struggle that some folks have. It's really hard to tile some stuff together. And another type we have is this concrete. So it's a little more concrete. And it's got a couple different cute patterns. Got this tree, which is cute. And we have a similar but different tree. It's sort of bending in the breeze. So we've got a few more different store walls, which is fun. Because before we just had two. We had these, or well, not two. Because obviously there's some differences between these. You know, they're pointing different ways. The stars are a little different, so you got two different ones there. Then you had this version that has green flowers instead of stars, which is cool. There's also one that has lips, or you know, whatever. Then we got this blue one, which is 4 separate panels. Before they didn't tile together very well, but we had those fixed up, so now they tile together really nice. They look cool. And we'll put some more display stuff around. The problem I had when I was first building this, because it was the first dungeon I worked on, I focused a little too much on keeping everything discrete. And that's the, what is that? The ETE discrete? Whatever. But, you know, if I did this again, we would put one of those over here also. So that way, even though it's just a wall, there's still something that you're kind of walking by. You know, just keeps it a little neater. Well, where'd it go? I don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, just keeps it a little nice. We also got these round tables. We redid these. Not that there's anything really wrong with it design-wise. The design is actually pretty nice. But the problem we had with it was, where did it go? I think we put it back in here. Or did we? No. Crap. Extra school floor colors. Well, wherever I put them, whatever. They're around. Maybe they're in here? No. Oh, clothing shelf fix. Yeah. So we added a little bit of I'd say Alice in Wonderland is just what comes to mind, but it just gives them a little more visual depth. Because before, if I can grab it here, clothing shelf top, the material, it was just a color. Like there's no normal, there's no anything. So now we added in just a little bit more secondary map, and just gives it a little more definition. So it's got like that little bit of grainy, little wood grainy feel to it, other than just blue. It is blue. It's got a little bit of wear and tear through the second albedo, so cool. So it's a lot nicer. And I'll just be able to replace them there. It'll be fine. And the other issue we had with it was that it was tough to get lighting inside of these crevices. So to counteract that, we just sort of made them different colors. But it's okay, because when you're walking around, you can't even really see them anyway. So that's another little new asset we had redone. I'm glad I found it. It's not in the right spot, though. The clothing shelf was by this fella. So I'll put it over there. Sewer, nothing in it. Get rid of it. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's good. And I think the one 3D artist, when I was doing the school, she noticed I was having trouble with a couple of the floor tiles. So she surprised me by sending me additional color kits, so I can go back through and give each floor a nice little detail, more detailed color, which is neat. It was really cool. I'm grateful. So the first floor of the school will be the one that's already used. Then we'll have this as the second floor, and this is the third floor because it goes with the school festival theme on the third floor. And yeah, I haven't really figured out just how to put these all together, but that's okay. It's not important right now. So there you have it. That's just my little guided tour of the updated bits and bobs for the mall. So I'll get back around to fixing all that with all of my free time. Let's see. Oh, I'll show you the government lab a little bit here. I'm sort of just doing an overview. So I figured out a couple things. We're getting more assets redone for this lab also. I'll show you why. The issue is mainly with stuff like this. This is supposed to be a fence, and while at first blush it looks nice, let me pull one out here. You'll immediately see that they're not sized proper. See how this sticks out further? That prevents it from being tiled, and it's all one big unit, so we can't actually move one over or change the size of one, so we have to redo it. And the other thing is that it is not double-sided, so the back side looks really incomplete. So I wanted it to be a standalone, waist or shoulder height fence or railing that you'd have to walk through security gates for, but I had to put these walls up to cover it up. And even these walls I had to double on. I had to double up because they're also not double-sided. So a lot of bummers with that. This door is still awesome though. I like the doors. Little slidey Resident Evil 2 type doors. And the floor is nice. I like the floors because we have all these cool little pipe dream style guides that can take you around through all the different doors. However, they do not tell you which direction the doors open. So while you can follow them if you want to take the shortest route through each floor, you got to be on the lookout for these little things here, because that shows you can go through it in this direction. Whereas this door here, it does not have it on this side, so it will not open. But it does on that side. So I've mostly been laying down the floors in the government lab just because I wanted to get all the doors working and get all the lines properly stowed. Stowed? That's not what I mean. I don't care. Don't save. So you can see we've got a bunch of different floor layouts. I didn't even do anything. And every few floors on this is a cue I took from Dungeon Travelers, the 2 Heart 2 version of Dungeon Travelers. There's one dungeon that's like 30 floors. And they put an elevator in every 10 floors. And we put one in every 3 or 4 floors. And that will act as your shortcut through the dungeon. So once you clear 3 floors and you are able to activate the elevator, you'll be able to warp to that floor. 5th floor I haven't laid out. 6th floor I started. 5th floor I didn't lay out because I wasn't sure that I had put all the doors in. Because there's only 2 one-way doors here. I think on this floor I'd have to look at my handwritten floor plan. There's just a bunch of teleportation pods that warp you all over the place. But I just have not looked at that. So I didn't put any floor down there. Anyhow, sewer. Alright, so back to the sewer. I want to quickly figure out what I want to do here. Since we've got a little bit of an issue. I think we'll just do something like that, that, and that. That should resolve it. Meh. Oh. Ah, yeah, I didn't change this one around yet. 9.985. Which means this one will be 95 from that side. Tiny little adjustments to make sure there aren't visible cracks. Every game designer's worst nightmare is just letting you see through the geometry. But I'm letting you see through it here. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to chat. What's everyone saying here? Oh shit, gotta scroll up quite a bit. Bad Scribbler's got some dev ideas. Yeah. I get what you're saying with this this carryover for the EE system. It reminds me a little bit too much of Star Ocean. Like how, oh, if you do this, you start to increase how much experience you earn. And God, that last Star Ocean game just pissed me off, so I want nothing to do with design choices that remind me of it. But I think there would be a place to use that in a separate title. I'll have to pick your brain on it more a little later on. Emily should have an event discussing the void if you bring her back here. How deep and dark it is, just like your soul/heart. Ha! Emily in the shopping mall. It's too bad that won't happen. Even in New Game Plus, I haven't figured out if we're gonna let you keep the entire party and just be completely anachronistic, or if you'll still have to gather them up like the initial time, but they'll retain their level and skills and all that. Again, it'll just be in the balancing stage of development. The stolen asset thing is a really, really big black mark on a game. Yeah, they're from like RWBY. I don't know if people know what that is. I have known of it. I see it's on Netflix. But then I was like, oh, it's in like the asset properties. Like it's right there. There's the term RWBY clothing. How about we delete that? Okay, cool. I really hate when objects spaz and phase out of reality, says Master Junior. Yeah, yep. Perfectly flat plastic, nice. You had shown the bevel problem with the sewer. Yep, I had shown it, and now it is fixed. The one thing with shortcuts is, oh, the bevel problem with the, yeah, okay. The one thing with shortcuts is they're kind of hard to justify. Gameplay, I know why they're there, but things like Etrian Odyssey, for instance, can't go through this way till you come through the other way. Ah, yes. Yeah, the Etrian Odyssey ones are weird. Like, oh, there's a path here, but can't go through it this way. Yeah, with the elevator, I at least feel like we have a, let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, we have this elevator button, and they're initially turned off. So there's no power like to that floor. And once you reach these elevator buttons, you can return the elevator power so that you can use it to get to that floor. So it kind of makes sense, but this is also a dungeon where there is a warp plate. So I kind of don't care about common sense with that dungeon. But hey, we'll cross that bridge once we build it. Okay, okay, just scrolling around like crazy. Elevators can have key codes, passes, whatever. Yeah, you could have key cards. Take this key card. That Resident Evil 2 remake, I hope it's good. So that would go like that. Somewhere around there, I think. And there's just not a lot of single walls for me to pick out and copy pasta. Oh well, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's take the broken wall, which we have over here, along with the creepy flat dichroma staring through it. Yeah. I think that's like the best, worst idea that we've had. That's great. I love putting him inside there. All right. So placement becomes an issue. We deal with lining them up. But at the same time, I don't really care because you can't see it when you're walking around. See how that is a little bit further out. But, no seam, no care. But when there is seam, there is care. Yeah, pretty slick there, huh? Cool. I'm excited that we figured out how to get that to work. Get that to work. It was definitely on my mind more than it should have been. The only bummer is that because it's not like super duper perfect size, I have to like finagle each and every one of them, or each and every time I have to place one. Which, you know, kind of sucks, but that's the price for wanting to do a dungeon with curved walls. It's a much greater design challenge when you're trying to make things tileable, scalable, yada yada yada. Crap. For the most part, you know, I think it's pretty covered. Yeah, you don't really see between the ceilings or anything like that. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. That is correct. Yeah, awesome. So that's all well and good, but how does it look in practice? Let us find out. Of course it is, it's non-Euclidean. Yeah, I know. Alright, so this is the room we just made. So like I said, they don't quite match up, but it isn't something that is really noticeable. I think it looks just fine and dandy. There's that chroma. And it isn't even a case of, it's good enough. Like, it's good. I just don't want to turn into Kojima before our first game comes out and try to demand everything to be perfect. Because it's just not going to happen, man. There's that one with the tree. Yeah, I mean, the sewers are going to be pretty cool. Just from a, they're just unique compared to the other dungeons, which are all, you know, buildings with walls and floors and stuff. This one's like cement pathways and tubes. It's like the internet. Excuse me. Cool. But also, what's really neat is by doing this one room, I have now created every type of angle. So now I can just copy pasta those and put them wherever I need that sort of angle. Like I'll probably need one there, etc., etc. And there's one other thing that will have to get made. It'll be, so you see how this is a dead end, but you're staring out into whatever? You need to get just a flat plane with this brick design, and we'll just use it as sort of a dead end. So it'll just be closed-in wall. In fact, I don't think I actually told the designer about that. Just make a little note over on this side to Skype him up. Yeah. So that'll be done. Because there are some places like here where it doesn't quite make sense to use that dead end because you can see the other side, which is neat, but you can't reach it because, ew, gross, sewer water, who wants to go in that? And that's where we can put something like a little bit of trash, bloop, you know, or whatever we want to put in there. But then there's places like here, you know, here and there, where it wouldn't make sense for you to see over here. It's just a little bit too far. So, you know, just to keep the variety up, sometimes you want a dead end with a flat wall. You live and you learn, and then you build a sewer dungeon. So that's that one. We got that little thing done. I'm glad. That was neat. Let's go back to the high school for a minute. I just want to real quickly see how challenging it'll be to put in all the new floor tiles. Oops. I get the feeling I'll probably just have to, yuck, hair in my mouth. I get the feeling I'll just have to replace it all. I'm not entirely sure how I would update the model without overriding the existing one on the first floor. So let's take this orange corner, or green corner. Then if I just do that, I can probably do this. Orange corner. But it's not going to apply to everything. Oh, or it will. But then my question becomes, did I just change it on all the other floors? This is me still just sort of struggling with implementing some stuff. Yeah, see, it changed on the first floor also. It's still listed as green corner. So I'm just going to have to deal with it. Now I don't know where all those models are, or those materials. Ah, well, I'll just not save or something. I don't think it works that way either. East, west, second floor. I'm going to play on the west second floor. So you can only get up here through stairs. Stairs. I'm still not over it. There they are. Computer's thinking pretty hard. Just do that, whatever. Alright, at least I fixed it. I'll just have to lay out the 2 floors again, which I don't mind doing. It's really not that difficult, especially since they're already done. It's just creating another one. Like I'll just take that, move it over here, and just make another, whatever. May not be the fastest way, because I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but it's the way I know that I won't screw something up. Okay, walls and floors. I'm still working on the ceiling tile without a light, I think. Whatever. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to do the first floor. because it has a little spirals part here. Yeah. Okay. This is the one that I'd started on. All right. As you wish. So that was the design I was using, huh? Well, well, well. First floor is best floor, I suppose. God, I'm just really struggling to figure out rooms or halls. Some of it's pretty clear, like this is obviously a room. This will just be like stuff. This will be a doorway. This will be a room. This will be a room. Stuff. Hallway? Leading to nothing? Room. And this is a room with a room inside the room. Or is this a room with a room inside a room inside a room? It never ends. Whatever the case, I am going to just take this floor pattern, start tamping it in. Except for on these ends, because that's where apparently I put this thing. We have to change all those to another direction. Lame. But then would I need to put this one there also? Since it changes your orientation a little? I don't think so, because it's an immediate change. Because then it would look like that, which looks really gross. I'd rather it just be an extra thick line, like that. It's less irritating to me. Got that other four-way stop sign type dealy. Yep, it can just go right through that wall. How much you want to bet these two don't follow up in the pattern? Clicking everything except what I want. Oh my god, it worked. Aren't buildings just one big room? Yeah. Yeah, I guess they are. See, I can use these pieces when it's just a corner. I know it doesn't have anything on that side or that side, but that's okay. It's just sort of the way she goes. Probably get away with that there. No. That just makes me feel like that should be a wall. What if? But then it goes against what I do up there. Yeah, you need to do the T intersections, every flavor of T intersection, every corner and corner rotation. Yeah, that is the thing. Like the government building that I showed you. Let's see, all those different floors. Yeah, there's like, yeah, these are all the different orientations of the directions. Because we have this hexagonal pattern underlying it, so we had to have two versions of every intersection, because this one, if you do it this way, let's see if I can make it a little bigger. So this version, you see how they're stretched going up and down? And then on this version, they're stretched the opposite direction. They're going left to right. So because the T intersection can be facing this way, or this way, see how when you put it this way, now it goes up and down? That way when we have this one, you can have a consistent tile pattern underneath. So we had to do two versions of every single turn so that we could get them all to look the same. It was quite a process, but definitely worth it. And I think we'll have to do something similar here with the hospital floor. Since it's a lot more symmetrical, there isn't an underlying hexagonal pattern. We'll just have to do, you know, uh, whatever you call it, T intersection or an L. But for the time being, let's just go with whatever feels right. And it's some wonky tiling, but just go with this for now. No, not that. probably just make that the room. The room. Oh, hi, Pearl. You want to throw the football? I think I double-clicked. No? Okay. Then in the rooms, I did this other pattern. Which I will replicate right here. Rather, right here. And while it looks kind of odd, yeah, we'll just do a little extra tile work and it'll look fine once you put a bunch of crap all over the floor like that. Can't really see much. And I don't like this either. There's a lot I don't like about this. Like this is fine, has its own area. But I think I enjoy this overall pattern better. Yeah. It's universal. It gets you your diamonds, your squares, and your hollow diamonds. You don't have to worry about any of the other stuff. But it would be cool to have the solid lines for little narrow hallways like that. Again, all fussy little details. Your signal's getting a bit stuttery, not sure if me or you. Yeah, I'm still doing okay. Overall, we've only dropped 3% of our frames. Yay! And my kilobits, probably kilobytes per second is embarrassing, so I'm not going to say it, but I do have a little green light, so it seems like it's alright. It's probably just getting bad when I move around a lot because it's trying to buffer 1080 down to 720 or whatever. And I probably don't have quite a good enough connection to do that, which will change. They just installed fiber optic in this neighborhood, and I would like very much to get the 1000 megabytes per second connection. But they are not yet offering it because they are not completely done with all of their hole digging, I guess. But I'm willing to wait because that will be pretty nice. Apparently it's only going to be like 70 bucks a month, which is awesome. Especially considering what we pay now for what we get now. Oh, yeah, I totally planned that. Oh my god, it's 3:15 already? Delicious fiber to the home. Yeah, it is the new craze. Oh, the new craze is Wi-Fi towers. You get access to the tower, which sits on wires. Yeah, Wi-Fi signals are never going to be as strong, I don't think. Like even now, if I tried to do this stream on Wi-Fi, my God, good luck. I think it cuts my speed into like 1/3. But then again, that could be a technology that they have been working on, and I just don't keep up with it. That. Let's put something else there. Some chairs. Well, it's not a far tower. They have to put them up every couple blocks. It's weird, but it's a thing. I guess that would be good for like restaurants or coffee houses. They can just, instead of having their own internet in their establishment, they can just cut a deal with whoever puts up that tower. So then people that come to their shop and just sit there and do their work, they the restaurant or whatever doesn't have to have their own internet connection. They can just kind of toss people down to that tower. But for like regular consumer use, I don't know. I can see it for places like Starbucks or whatever. Whoa, just got a big gust of wind out here. It's very windy here today, indeed. Why is it doing that? Isn't doing that over here, was it? Oh, it is. Shit. Well, I'll just push it out to a point where it doesn't do that. Problem is now you've got that little itty bitty seam there. You got that itty bitty seam there. Pillars, man. Tell you what. Not even gonna bother with it right now. I'll probably just do something like something like that. That does the trick, I guess. Fiber to the home is the newest real development with actual infrastructure going on. Oh yeah, they were tearing up the whole block. Google started it. Yeah, Google had started it when I was out in Washington. They were moving it around out there. And a few other shall be unnamed companies are looking into it Technology is mature enough that the cost is higher than regular copper, but that said, they're mostly using optics on the lines anyways, so why not spin out the fiber to person's house anyways? Also, congratulations, you stumbled into my day job. Well, hey, it's a job, right? Oh, oops. It's cool, man. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, being in this home. Oh yeah, no musical updates this week. The music guy's been sort of in and out of town, but he told me that he is working on the government lab theme. So I hope we'll have that to share with ya, perhaps on the next stream. Most of the US needs to be ripped up and replaced. The infrastructure is just old, and the companies are sitting on their laurels when it comes to earning their subscription keep. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I guess I can't name the companies, but my friend who's doing the battle animations, um, he is gonna get fiber in his new apartment, and it's gonna be the same speed, 1,000 megs a second or whatever. And he called his current provider, and he was like, "Hey, can you match this?" And they're like, "Oh, we have this speed for this price." And it's like 1/3 the speed and double the price. He's like, "Why would I ever stick around with you? Like you're not making any effort to keep me. So bye." And I think companies more and more are gonna sort of realize that, like, oh, we have to make an effort to keep people on our service because we can't just monopolize an entire area anymore. Well, shoot. The natural monopoly that's kind of destroyed US stuff. Yeah, that's why I guess our internet speed is like third world internet speed type deal or whatever. I don't like throwing around third world anything, but I think that's what I heard. Like our infrastructure is really crappy because we we did it really early on. So it's like, yeah, we got that infrastructure, but now it's really old and we have to redo the whole thing. Oops. I got the burps. All right. And on that note, I think we can close out the stream. I'm gonna go and eat a late lunch. But hey, this was fun. We got to look at a bunch of new assets, talked a bit about our battle system plans, and got to lay down some walls, floors, ceilings, whatever's. Got our little veggies are magic. Remember, veggies are magic. So eat right. In Germany, we had the same problem for way too long, too. Ooh. Well, all right. Once again, thank you guys for hanging out and chatting. It's always interesting to have internet type discussions about internet type things. And I'll be posting again in a couple days. I'll just keep at it, man. I'm just gonna keep at it. Like I mentioned in the last post, I've had a slight reprieve from freelance, so I've been doing more writing on my own side, which is nice. It's good to revisit these ladies and Buck. And that's why I wanted to try to do some more event scene coding in the next week, because there's a lot of sub events and I have to start coding them. So I wanted to do that. But of course, all of that stuff, Microsoft Office, is on my other computer because I'm too poor to afford more than one Microsoft Office key. I'm looking into it though. But anyway, I'll talk more about the plans in a post on the Patreon page. So again, thanks for coming out. Talk to you guys later.